Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. Today, we will be talking on women and sexual health, okay, with amazing YONI practitioner, Angie. So she will be joining in shortly. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Ange, or Anjali, if you like to call me, and I am Women's Health fitness coach, and I have just recently added hello, everybody. Hello. So I have just added nutrition counseling, right? So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And okay, so while we are waiting for her, I'm going to read more about Angie. Okay, so here she is. I think she's trying to. All right. Okay, she's coming, thinking, technology, right? Hello. Hi, Ange. How are Angie, I should say. I'm like Ange calling Ange.
Both Anges.
Yes, I know, right? So, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited with today's little live. So, hi everyone who's joined us.
Yes, we have a few people joined in here. So thank you everyone for coming here to support us, Angie and myself. And so I was just about to read your bio. So Angie has been yoni steaming practitioner since the beginning of 2020 with a passion for wellness and feminine empowerment. She believes in accessing this through self-love and uses yoni steaming as an alternative practice in supporting the female mind and body connection. That is beautifully said, Angie. So before we start, I wanted to say that this live is all about bringing you awareness and giving you information on the alternative practice that you might, if you're curious or you might want to try it out, right? So not a specific advice for you to do, but you can always stay till the end of our conversation and then ask all the questions to Angie at the end in our Q&A session, okay? So would you like to add anything before we start, Angie?
No, I think that was really beautifully said, Anjali. I'm really excited to get into it. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, please keep them to the end because I'd love to answer as many as I can.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So, what exactly is Yoni Health for our community to understand? Because when I first saw you're at the floating, what's the name? Floating at the
Floating away. Yeah,
floating
it's in the
away.
Oasis
Yeah,
shopping center. Yeah.
Oasis. Yeah, when I saw the Yoni steaming, because I come from Nepal and I grew up learning Sanskrit, right? So yoni is vagina. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. How are we going to steam our vagina, right? So that is very interesting. So please, for the people who are surprised as I am, please let us know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the term yoni is Sanskrit and it actually means and directly translate to sacred space, which is a beautiful way of respecting and using really beautiful terminology, I believe, for our genitalia as women. So it's kind of the whole vulva, right? A lot of people don't realize that vagina is only one part of it, but the whole vulva is the yoni. And so I think it's really beautiful to just bring a little bit more value to it by treating it as something sacred.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that here in the West and I think all around the world, we don't really give it that sacred nature of just holding value and respecting it as for what it is, which is the entry of giving life. So I think it's a really beautiful way to kind of explain it. And I love sharing it with people because I think it's such a beautiful word. I love that you've been using it since you were younger.
Yes. But we were never ever allowed to say or speak out loud, okay? We worship the male genital, not what do you call it? Like male reproductive system, and we worship the Shiva Linga, right? But not as such with the women's side. So it was interesting to know as I grew up. When I was a kid, I didn't even know what we were worshipping. But then later on, when I realized it was a bit, I thought, oh, that's a bit funny. But anyway, so yeah, that's wonderful. And so did we answer all the questions? What exactly? Yeah, so Yoni Health is just respecting our,
yeah,
so giving,
sacred.
yeah,
But
showing respect.
That's true, because there's not just the element of respecting it and using the terminology, it's actually just understanding that it's natural and beautiful and purposeful too. I think that's really important.
Yes.
You know, in my bio, we spoke about the importance of the mind-body connection. So that's one really beautiful central piece that I'd like to really say strongly, is to respect ourselves as women and for the way that our bodies work. I think it's really, really central. Yoni steaming in itself is a very cleansing ritual, and it's all about self-care and self-love too. So it's got a physical element to it as well as a spiritual element. So I think as far as Yoni Health, it's learning to respect that part of our bodies as well as giving it love and being able to have these conversations, because like you said, it has been taboo. Whereas when we start sharing this with other women and speaking about our health and being able to really do that in a respectful and loving way, I think we kind of start shifting the mentality for others too.
Absolutely. Just bringing the awareness and being open about, as much as we starting to talk about women's health, and that is part of it as well, right? Being openly talk about being able to respectful and talk about what we have in our body, right? Instead of being ashamed of it.
Yeah, and it's only natural. And that's why I love doing this conversation with you this morning too, Ange, because it gives us another opportunity to speak about it.
Yes, it is my out of comfort, to be honest, but my purpose is to bring the awareness and bring the information and freedom of choice to people if they want to explore something new, right? So standing on that purpose, so I'm here to talk to you. So thank you for being here. Yeah. So so another one is, as you provide care for reproductive health and feminine energy, how do you define women's, I think you already touched on how do you define women's sexual health, right?
Absolutely. But just going forward through that, actually in my practice, I find women to be extremely unaware of their reproductive system. So when we're defining women's sexual health, you know, it's hard because the education system that we've learnt and grown up with in sex education, we've actually learnt all about sex and contraception, how to not fall pregnant, how to not get STIs, right?
Yes.
But we haven't really learnt the ins and outs of the female anatomy.
Yes.
You know? So understanding our cycles, which phases that we're in, how they all work and generate, I think is a really, really central piece, because I feel like we've fallen out of touch with our cyclical nature, and a lot of people don't realise that even after childbearing years or menstruation years, we still have these hormones that shift and change our emotional responses, that maybe might shift and change, you know, how we're feeling about certain things, our metabolism, all sorts of things. And, you know, there's one book that I really, really love if people want to read about it. It's called In the Flow, and it's written by Alyssa Vitti. I believe she was a researcher or a biologist or something, and she really speaks about the infradian rhythm and how women actually have two biological body clocks. You know, one's the circadian rhythm, which is very similar to men, and the other is, you know, syncing up with the moon. So I think that's a really other beautiful key point to bring into it.
Sorry, did you say Alyssa Vitti?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I have. I have listened to her conversation many times, and I think she has her program as well. So on that, you know, the circadian rhythm. Did I say it right?
Infradian rhythm. So circadian rhythm is sleep, right?
I'm like, yeah. Sorry. Okay, because I'm not used to the terminology, so I just wanted to double check. Okay. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
And to tail onto that, that's in a spiritual sense. That's why women are known to be lunar in energy, actually, because we sync up with the moon. It's a 28 to 33 day cycle.
Yeah.
And men are similar in energy because their hormonal clock actually goes off a 24-hour cycle. So I think that's a really beautiful way of thinking about it. You know, we're speaking about reproductive health and feminine energy. It's a really nice way to look at it in those sorts of lights too.
So it's the yoni steaming is not just yoni steaming. It's so much more. It's such a big picture, right? It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of her puzzle, you know, like you said, it's people's free choice and choosing what they want to do. And here's just another beautiful alternative to, one, help with the physical practice of cleansing the body and helping to balance the hormones. However, we're also looking at it in a very spiritual way where we're in touch with our femininity, we're, you know, really getting to connect with our bodies and really take time to nurture that.
Yeah, so that is so beautiful. I don't think, like most of us, maybe we don't really care. We do care of our body, but we might not care as particularly, you know, than down there, because we're always a bit uncomfortable. You can tell. I'm like eyes closing. So yeah. So how does it help women in sexual health?
Okay, so there's a few different elements to this. One, there is a cleansing of the reproductive organs. And the way that it works in a physical way is you're sitting over steam, right? And it's often used with a herbal concoction of some kind. So I customize the herbal blends in my practice. And essentially you're just sitting over hot water, sitting over hot steam, and similar to how you put a heat pack on the outside of the body, you're actually warming up all of the internal organs from the inside using the steam. So you've got the blood circulation of the warmth, you're relaxing all of those muscles in a way that's probably never been done if you haven't steamed before. No. So if you think about it, right? So it's relaxing and allowing those organs and those muscles surrounding those organs to actually just release for probably the first time in a very long time. And when we naturally do this, it kind of helps to regulate not just our nervous systems, but it hydrates the area, it keeps things moist and supple and beautiful. And, you know, a lot of women come away feeling really good after a steam. It's just a gentle and nurturing practice. It's very warming for the body. In a spiritual aspect, I think I was talking about this to you earlier, it really does work on the lower 3 chakras too. So you would know a lot about the chakra system too, right?
Yes, I do the meditation and all those things, but I'm not a practitioner myself, but I do the meditation on it. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about it this way, we are steaming from the root chakra, and you know that's our energy center of safety, security, stability. So we're really shifting the energy and warming that area so that it's actually relaxing and releasing. Then we go up to the sacral chakra, which is where all of our internal organs kind of sit, and that's our beautiful creative space. That's where we create babies as well as, you know, enhance our creativity. So some women go away and be like, oh, I was feeling really creative after my yoni steam. And I believe that was just an energetic level if you believe in that. And then lastly, it's our solar plexus, which is right here. Yeah. And the reason why it does still get up to the solar plexus is because when you're warming the chakras from the bottom, you actually can feel, especially if you're sensitive, you can actually feel like your diaphragm kind of squishing a little bit because those organs, those sexual organs are actually expanding. And so as the heat goes down, you can actually start feeling a little bit of breathiness during your steam, and then it slightly goes away. And I believe it's like wringing out like a towel, you know, of that sacral chakra. It's kind of squeezing it and letting it release everything from there. So, you know, that's our energy center of, you know, am I worthy? Am I good enough? Is our ego and our confidence. So I think that's where it helps people in a very spiritual level, especially when it comes to emotions, and if they've, you know, had sexual trauma, had any form of, you know, abusive relationships in the past, or even just feeling unsettled, it can really, really help shift you out of that.
Yeah, thank you. You are so educational around this area, and it's so amazing. And Floating Away Oasis is the education that Angie has or can give around the importance of understanding yoni steaming and the phase of our cycles change your life. So good to balance our chakras. Yeah, they are your big cheerleaders. Awesome. Oh, how wonderful. Yeah, awesome. So, yeah, and Sophia sends you love hearts. Awesome. Thank you. Right back at you. So, can anyone do this, or is there anything that we should be aware of?
Absolutely. There's so much to be aware of, and this is why I recommend to come in and get a consultation with someone that actually is looking at your whole body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of misinformation and things online if you try and do it yourself at home. That's kind of how I got into it, and I just magically figured out the way to do it the right way. But a lot of people are causing more harm than good. So, you know, if you are on any form of medication, have any specific medical diagnoses and certain medications, we've got to be really mindful of what herbs we use, actually, so that we don't contraindicate with those in the body. It's also a really good opportunity for us to work out, okay, how frequent can you yoni steam, whether or not it's actually right for you, or whether you need to move on and see, you know, a medical specialist or a hormone specialist or an nutritionist, or whether it can be complementing any of those therapies as well. I believe everything kind of work hand in hand with each other. So I think, you know, different walks of life, for instance, if you're pregnant, it's not recommended to yoni steam. It can cause harm. So there's different things to be aware of, but there's so many. I think it's for every woman, but not for every stage in life. So that's kind of my motto with it.
Oh, that's wonderful. So it's not just that you just go and sit on the seat, right? So you do the consultation and see if the person is viable for that yoni steaming, right?
Yeah.
And then you do the proceed. And then I really love that, you know, how you said that you collaborate with the other practitioners. It's not just my yoni practice, but you just, if they what our client needs or the, you know, patient needs, so accordingly you are going to guide them to whoever they might need, right? So I really appreciate that. You know, the collaboration is the way to go.
I think so too, and I really love, I did a bit of stalk on you, Anjali.
Oh, yes.
I really love that you are bringing these alternatives and traditional modalities together with modern day medicine and modern day practices, because I think there is an absolute need for both, especially when they can actually work together. And I think it's really important to just, you know, you can't have the intellectual scientific awesomeness without the juicy wisdom that's been passed down for generations, for whatever reason that is, even if it's known or unknown yet. But I think it's a really beautiful way to merge the two together. I'm a really big believer in that too. So I love that you're into it.
Yeah, thank you. Because I think because I come from the, you know, Asia side, and we grew up with all these things, but at the same time, lots of us suffered because we didn't have the doctors in the village, you know, and we still don't have doctors at the village. You know, we have to travel a fair bit, one day or trip or something like that to get the closest one. In the emergency, it's a bit, you know, devastating, right? So, but at the same time, with the olden day practice, it's, you know, it's working, you know, for the, in the, you know, witch doctors or whoever you call them, but, you know, it works for the people. But at the same time, the other side, when there is emergency and we are seeking for the practitioners, you know, doctors and like that. So that's why I see the both side. It is so important for people to have that choice of, you know, and have the professional information when it is, there is like professional information, you know. I think we all can bit relax. So this is coming from a really knowledgeable person, and we all can rely on it and then, you know, explore. Otherwise, there are so many information like you mentioned earlier. So it's a bit hard to trust and go, and sometimes it might be, you know, doing harm rather than doing the, you know, doing the better. So we have to be so careful, right? So
Absolutely, yeah. I agree. And you know, I think it's beautiful that you had experience and exposure to alternatives. And, you know, it's really sad that there's places out there that can't reach, you know, medication and doctors when they actually really need it too. And, you know, I really respect your little journey in that because, yeah, it must have been hard, you know, growing up in places like that for sure.
Well, I think when you don't know any better, until I came to the Western side, I'm like, wow, life can be like this. So, you know, so you get, if you don't know any better, you don't know. But because I got the opportunity to have this side of the world, and I'm like, wowzers, you know, our life can be so different. And why there's no doctors, you know, in the village, why we should have access to at least a basic, you know, doctors or nurse or whoever in the village, right? But we don't have it. So I'm very grateful to be here. And, you know, we have like resources or the doctors, you know, phone call away. So I'm really grateful. So, yeah. So thank you everyone for joining here. Sorry, you go.
That's so beautiful.
Yes, no, I'm really grateful. And so that's why we are trying to, I was going to say, Angie is coming in our event in September. So it's exciting, and you are giving us the door prize as well. Thank you so much for your kindness. And then, and so that's why to support the people in Nepal, we are doing this beautiful collaboration of all the modern and then traditional medicine practitioners coming together, right? So that is one of my motives. So yeah. So
love it. And I've got another surprise for you. I'm actually going to be giving you guys, whoever comes, they're going to be getting a little gift card in their goodie bag. And the gift card is to go in and see me or my friend Renee, who has been practicing for me while I've been out on maternity leave. Some discount. It's a $25 gift card to everyone that comes along as well. So I'm getting the vouchers printed. They're on their way. It'll get to you soon, but it'll be going in the goodie bag as well.
Thank you so much for your kindness. I really appreciate that. So if anyone has any question to Angie, please comment down below. And while we doing, you know, waiting, so Angie, let us know where we can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me in multiple places actually nowadays. So I am online, so www.yonisteamaustralia.com.au. You can also email me, Angie, at yonisteamaustralia.com. I am also based out of Floating Away, as you know, and it is a beautiful wellness centre in the heart of Broadbeach on the Gold Coast. It is just stunning. It's up on level 1 in the Oasis Broadbeach Shopping Centre. You can find me on Instagram, although I haven't been as active as I'd like to be. I'm hoping to be a bit more active soon. I've just been, you know, hibernating with baby. I've got a little 4-month-old. I've just been doing where I can.
Yes, absolutely.
In any of those channels, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So if anyone would like to send any questions later on, I will put all the Angie's details in the content and connect with via Instagram or any, you know, like information that you would like to use. So I would really like to thank you for coming here today, Angie, and then all your beautiful kind words. And then yes, and you have so much knowledge around it, and my best wishes for bringing this, you know, as a, no, I don't know, it might be a surprise for people, is it? Making this like you're trying to bring out the course, right?
Yes.
For the practice.
Yeah, so I'll be doing a practitioner's training as well. I'm soon to be launching it in an online facility. So I'm really looking forward to getting that all online as well. So I'm really excited for that. I poured my whole heart into it. I built on my original training, and I'm using real life case studies from real people I've seen. And I've put together a beautiful workbook. So I'm just in the middle of trying to film all the sessions and getting them onto a platform that I like. I found a few platforms So if anyone who does online course creation wants to send me through their favorite platforms too, that'd be really helpful, because I've tried a few and yeah, not too sure if I've found the right ones yet, but it's still coming along. I've filmed some of the sessions and done the workbook, so it'll be coming along in the next coming months for sure.
Yeah, exciting. And Dylan says, congrats on the baby. Hope you and the family been well.
Oh, thanks, Dills.
Okay. All right, Angie. So we might have to end this beautiful conversation for today. And we're looking forward to seeing you in person in our event day. And yes, thank you so much. And then, yeah, we will see you when I see you. Hey?
Excited to meet you in person. It'll be so much fun.
Yes, absolutely. All right. You have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much, Angie, for coming here today. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.